Welcome, family. I just want to introduce you to DJ Leon D. My music is a little salt and a little pepper. The salt is old school, the pepper is new school. So, welcome to the music mix, and let's get it on.
This is your boy Leon D. I'm back on the microphone again. And I told you last time that I'm going to talk about some cities that I have been to and I've eaten in these cities and I've eaten at some of the best and some of the worst restaurants that they have. Now, this series here, we're going to talk about Vegas. A lot of people like Las Vegas. Nothing wrong with liking Las Vegas. See, Vegas is kind of a weird city because if you want food in Vegas, you have one or two choices. You can eat in Las Vegas, somewhere near the boulevard, where food is very expensive because all the good restaurants are in the casinos. And see, I don't gamble, so I don't like going into the casinos. But most of the decent places that you want to eat at that's not too expensive is in a place called Henderson, Nevada. Now, Henderson is just south of the airport. I tend to hang out in Henderson quite a bit. The reason I do because that's where all the restaurants are that you can afford. You cannot afford the ones in the casinos. The casinos, you eat one of two ways. You either spend a lot of money or you gamble and they give you free coupons. So I don't gamble, so I don't get the free coupons like some people do. Now, they have some pop-ups along the way as you walk down the boulevard or maybe go a block or two away from the boulevard. But the food is not the best. I'm going to give you an example. I went to a place there and I wanted tacos. So they said tacos was $7. I said, no problem. I had assumed I was going to get 3 tacos, maybe 4. What they gave me was 1 taco, and they said you get, if you want more, you can pay more, which common sense says, I know that already. So these tacos were about 6 inches, maybe 8 at the most. You know, they were small tacos. Now, I'm thinking to myself, places like that, I understand you got to pay certain salaries, certain wages. They were all Hispanic, and they were making all the food. The amount of meat they gave me per taco was so minuscule that I felt like I was paying for lettuce. I'm thinking to myself, I see why Taco Bell is in business, because I could have went to Taco Bell and bought, 3 tacos for like $12. And, these places are a little, the food was very tasty, but it wasn't fulfilling. They gave you California style food, pretty food, but it's never going to fill you up. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not spending $22 on 3 tacos. They had a couple other places that gave you a lot more, not meat. They were cheaper. Put it this way, they were cheaper, but they were smaller. So it was all proportional to when I spent $7. So when you go to Vegas, you gotta be prepared. I don't mind spending 60 or $70 on a good meal. Don't mind that if it's a good meal. But I don't want to go to a casino where I gotta find parking, which is always difficult in Vegas unless you're staying at one of the hotels. Whether it's Bellagio, whether it's the Wynn, whether it's the Conrad, whatever you're gonna do. I don't want to fight for parking. Casinos tend to build up and not out. There were a few that had large parking lots, but then you had like a mile walk to the casino. So when you go to Vegas, be mindful that get off the airplane, go to Henderson, and, get your food. Every time I ate and I didn't want to go to a casino, I end up in Henderson. Any place that has good food on the boulevard in Vegas that's not in a casino has a restaurant equivalent in Henderson, Henderson, Nevada. So I learned that the hard way, that anything I want to do, I got to go outside of Vegas. Now, they have little cities in what do you want to call it? I guess West Vegas, going to LA. The restaurants just didn't appeal to me. They looked like they were in they were either a chain restaurant or looked like they were a one-off. Looked like they were in neighborhoods. I'm talking about like a housing neighborhood. Vegas is kind of like Phoenix in a way. Everything's the same color, brown. You don't see grass. You don't see trees. So there's nothing fresh. There's no fresh food that's grown locally. You can't grow fruits in a desert. Fruits and vegetables don't grow in a desert. I didn't see a cow. I didn't see anything around there. So all the food's imported from somewhere else, whether it's the West Coast, the South, the Midwest, whatever. All the food's imported, and you're going to pay for that because nothing in Vegas is cheap when it comes to food. And gas is off the chain. Gas was like almost $6 on the East Coast. It was $3.30. So you're going to pay for that transportation cost for your food. Somebody has to bring it, and you're going to pay for it. So when you go there, expect to pay a lot in Vegas. It's almost like they charge you for food like you're a gambler. You're going to pay a lot. Get over that because you got to eat. And when you go to Vegas, they have Whataburgers or In-N-Out burgers, whatever you want to call them, which to me, I don't see anything great about those type of restaurants at all. Hell, I can go to Burger King on the East Coast. And these places just a name. Tourists and people try them all the time. Now, if you want a good meal, you got places like Giada, and you got places like Wolfgang Puck, and you got all these high-end restaurants in the hotels. The hotel is paying these people a lot of money to put their name on one of the restaurant doors, and you're gonna pay for it. They also try to entice you to go to a show or whatever you're doing. And some of the people that have, Vegas is kind of funny. Most people, and you'll see in the video where you see me going down the streets in Vegas, and I was at the Sphere when it was open with U2. I was there. Now, what you're going to see is that a lot of these places want you to come in and spend a lot of money on food, on a show. Vegas is very easy to spend $300 or $400 and not gamble. Very, very easy. And I realized that when a buddy of mine went out to get some food, and he came back $350 lighter in a wallet because he decided that he was gonna go look at a show. Supposedly walking around, he ate, looked at a show, and most people in Vegas are not your current stars. They are washed up. I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay a nice amount of money for a meal to look at Eddie Griffin. And you pay $200, and you pay for a good meal. I feel like when the meal is better than the entertainment, you're getting ripped off because the meal is the cheaper of the two. So you have to tell yourself what's important. So when you go to Vegas, I can't imagine what it costs for two people. It's not like you going and stay in Manhattan. Now, Vegas got a miniature Manhattan and a miniature Statue of Liberty and all these other things, and you'll see those in the video. Vegas got a lot of things to keep you busy. But here's the funny thing about Vegas, though. There's nothing to do in Vegas during the daytime. Absolutely nothing. Not even getting a decent meal. Vegas is a night city. So if you want to go during the daytime, there's nothing to do. Not even getting a decent meal. I was going to Henderson. I was hunting things down. But here's the one thing about Vegas I do like. When I go to Vegas during the daytime, I went to the Hoover Dam. I went to the Hoover Dam. I actually found myself eating a sandwich at the Hoover Dam. And I'll also show you a couple of videos of the Hoover Dam as well. But when you go to certain places and you want a good meal, Vegas isn't high on my list because I have to work too hard to find a decent place, whether it's a Brazilian steakhouse or whatever. And when I say I have to work too hard, I want to go a place that's not in a casino. I don't want to go to the casino to have all my meals. That's not me. Some people don't mind that, but that's not me. What I want to do is to pull up to a restaurant, have a good meal, and go. If I'm going to spend 60 or 70 bucks, I don't want to have to walk a long way to spend that money. I feel like I'm doing you a favor by spending my money in your establishment. I feel like I'm doing you a favor. I don't want to feel like you're doing me a favor by me spending my money. So think about your time, your values, and how much it's worth. Everything in life got a price point. Vegas seems to always want to boost that up. Whether it's buying gas, whether it's buying a meal, Vegas always seems like it's going to get in your pocket and give you the change. No matter how much you want to spend, Vegas is going to tell you what to spend, especially on food. And taxes are very high. Taxes are very high. So Vegas is a place that I'm not going to depend on eating anything in Vegas. And Vegas got a lot of small restaurants, but they're all on the Strip. When you go one block over from the Strip, like on Paradise, you can't find anything to eat but chain stuff. You know, you got your normal McDonald's and Wendy's and all that kind of stuff. Ain't no Chick-fil-A's out there. There may be one or two, but you got to look for those. You got to hunt for those. And they ain't like Atlanta or in the South where you find them on every block. And then when you go to a burger joint, this is 2023, October, or actually November. Don't be surprised to go to a normal burger joint and spend 20 bucks, like Europe, like Switzerland. Don't be surprised to do that at all because it's going to happen. And it's not like you spend more money, you get better service. No, you get the same young kids there that you would have walking around the streets doing nothing at all. And the other thing about Vegas too, almost any decent place you go to eat, you're going to find beggars, homeless, people who are homeless. You're going to find all this stuff. It just diminishes the ambience of your eating experience when you walk out and someone says, "Hey man, you got some money?" And yet you go to Vegas, you got a sign on every business saying we're hiring. Now I know people got mental problems, all other kind of problems, but that can't be all of them. It can't be that they all got a problem. No. So I understand about the ones who got mental problems. Some just beg. I went to 7-Eleven. Guy drives up in the car. He looked like maybe 3 or 4 years old. Not a bad idea. And he just started begging. "Hey man, you got $1. How in the hell you just get in the car if you need $1? You could have stayed at home and saved the damn $1. You could have stayed at home, make your own meal, and save the damn $1. But no, you decided to get up, get in your car, burn your gas, and ask me for a damn $1. And then I went to one place that I was eating. Actually, it was the hotel I was in. Eating the breakfast, I go outside. The lady said, "Sir, you got $3 for some food." I said, "Hey, listen, I get a free breakfast here." I went in, got her breakfast, came out and said, "Here go the breakfast that I was going to eat. You can have that." She threw it on the ground. She wanted money. She didn't want the food. I said, "Well, then that's your problem. I'm going to have my breakfast. I'm going to have me a nice day." Same to her. But when you try and be respectful and talk to people like that, you never know what the reaction is going to be. She went from "I want some food" to "I don't want any food. I want your money." Well, we all in life got to prioritize what's important. Is it the food? Is it the money? If you want money, say money. I'm not giving you money. I offer you food. That's what you say you wanted. Oh well, we're done. So, what I want to tell everybody, if you don't gamble, Vegas is not family friendly. If you don't gamble, you're not going to enjoy it. That is just the way it is. If you don't gamble, don't go to Vegas. Vegas is not a family. You know, you want to take your family and have fun, go to Disney World. Yeah, Mickey will have fun with you. Your kids enjoy it, everybody enjoy it. But don't go to Vegas thinking that they advertise is family friendly. And it's definitely not family friendly at night. That much I can tell you for a fact. Because you see women dressed certain ways during the middle of the day, giving you cards to come eat at my restaurant.